Back in the early 90s, Sanrio created a direct-to-video series of animated episodes known as Hello Kitty and Friends. The episodes are unique in that they had a runtime of around 30 minutes and all tend to be self-contained stories, making these episodes more of little short films rather than episodes to a show. Sanrio developed 80 of these animations, but only 30 of them were dubbed into English, sadly. Quite a few of the animations often used classic fairy tales and beloved stories as their plots. You had Snow White, Cinderella, Sinbad, Robin Hood, and Alice in Wonderland, just to name a few. Today I want to look at the latter of the group, Alice in Wonderland. Alice in Wonderland is such an interesting story to me just because of the nonsensical nature to it. It kind of takes the traditional fairy tale genre and scrambles it all up to make something mind-bogglingly confusing, yet wholly understandable. So how does that convert when you add Hello Kitty into the mix? Well, let's take a look and see. Right off the get-go, Hello Kitty is identified as Alice, and there is actually no mention of Hello Kitty's name whatsoever. They even give her an older sister who has no relation to Mimi at all. It's kinda neat to see that they went all the way with doing a retelling of the classic story, even going as far as changing the name of their star character to accurately depict the original character's own name. Alice, who is Hello Kitty, notices a rabbit running by while she sits with her sister. Being the ever-curious girl, she quickly scurries off to investigate. She eventually loses sight of him, and before you know it, she's plummeting down a rabbit hole that appears right beneath her feet. Alice Kitty descending through the rabbit hole does a very nice job of depicting that endless brain-melting landscape that is synonymous with this scene. You can see all the weird floating furniture in the backdrop, and Alice even snags a bottle of orange juice as she's falling and says,
"Clear orange juice? Oh, it's empty."
I think that's kind of a funny and bizarre line that fits the world so well. Once she plops to the bottom below, she finds Mr. Rabbit and chases that boy down until she passes through some freaky wall and stumbles across a hallway of doors. None of these doors budge, but a strange key now appears on a table. As she tries this key on the doors, yet again, no luck. But behind that suspect curtain at the end of the hall actually lies a tiny little door. What do you know? The key opens that tiny little door. I do already really like how much they're going for accuracy in this simple retelling. Like, no doubt this is made for kids, but it is really cute and a very admirable go at making it all digestible for little ones. Alice Kitty tries to push her big ol' noggin through that tiny door, but no luck at all. Although now, when she turns around, a mysterious drink has appeared on the table with the label, "Drink Me." When Alice takes a sniff of the drink, her thought process is,
I don't know what's in it at all. It smells like orange juice. It must be okay.
I'm not sure if that's the right thought process, Alice Kitty. Imagine your creepy 55-year-old neighbor hands you some mystery drink mix, but it smells like orange juice. With Alice's logic, you'll be alright. Has to be orange juice. After downing some risky liquids, she begins to shrink and shrink and shrink. When all the shrinking is done, she finds a little pair of gloves and a fan on the floor, and she can also now squeeze through that little door, except there's an issue. She left the key on the table. An attempt at a climb is useless, and the tears start flowing. Luckily though, the tears actually help little Alice out and bust the door open, sending her all the way through, where she meets a group of animals who ended up getting soaked from all her tears. One of the mice in the group recommends that they run around the tree to dry off. Once they're all dried off, that frantic rabbit shows up once again. This time he's scurrying off to a house, shouting about losing his gloves and fan. Alice Kitty pursues the rabbit yet again and ends up losing sight of him inside the home. Yet again, her overwhelming desire to trust things that smell good kicks in.
This one smells yummy, like green apples. But maybe I shouldn't try this one. I don't know what might happen. But it smells so delicious. Just a taste. Oh, it's sweet.
And just like that, she's now Super Kitty. We need more of Super Kitty. I mean, look at this image. Is that not adorably horrifying? Like, on one hand, oh my gosh, you just killed any resident within the home with your expanding body. But on the other hand, hey, that's cute. She does eventually manage to get the bottle again and take another sip to return to her normal size. As she hurries away from the destruction of the house, the next person she stumbles across is the good old caterpillar. This version of the caterpillar is kinda horrifying. Look at this guy. His blue and pink skin make him look fun, yet chronically ill. Those big bushy eyebrows immediately scream stranger danger, and then he just kinda has a snowman nose for some reason. The caterpillar goes on, saying all sorts of strange and non-helpful things.
I fell down from a rabbit hole, and since then I've been changing non-stop.
You say you've been changing non-stop? You mean like changing your clothes?
But he eventually helps by telling Alice that she can return back to her correct size and head home by eating some of the mushroom nearby. The right side makes you big, and the left side makes you small.
Mushrooms are round. How am I supposed to figure out which side is which?
And Kitty Alice is exactly right. But what can she do? She risks the bite. Unluckily for her, she turns into Slender Cat and is beat down by a bird. A second chomp at the mushroom brings her back down to size. Alice Kitty decides to dip away from the caterpillar because, well, I mean, who wouldn't want to get away from that guy? The next bizarre encounter brings our cute little protagonist to the iconic Cheshire Cat. He only speaks obtusely and gives no real insight, staying true to the character.
I just want to go back home if possible.
Well, anything's possible when you put your mind to it, you know. You just have to believe and it will happen.
After a confusing interaction with the grinning, blonde-headed cat, Alice heads to a clearing to only stumble upon the legendary Mad Hatter. I was honestly surprised that they kept him as a human, considering that Alice is portrayed by a cat girl. I almost kinda assumed he would also be some sort of cat. The Hatter, in all his madness, dances around Alice's question about where she could find the rabbit, and instead insists upon a nice little tea party. Things end up getting a little heated when Alice Kitty tries to explain to the Hatter that he's not actually pouring any tea or giving her any biscuits.
Drink up.
There's nothing in my teacup.
What do you mean? I just filled it with piping hot tea.
Are you making fun of me now?
No. Oh, here, have a biscuit. You'll feel better.
Out of anger, she storms off to a delightful-looking castle. Outside the castle, some cards are hard at work painting white roses red. I do find it hilarious that Hello Kitty, or Alice, can just sort of roll up on some playing cards with heads and just sort of start a normal conversation with them. Yet again, she has met a caterpillar smoking a hookah, a cat that turns invisible, and has drank/eaten things which have changed her physical height. Yeah, maybe the cards are actually the least deranged thing at this point. The Queen makes her appearance and starts hooting and hollering, eventually pushing her attention to the paint buckets. Noticing that the cards blundered in planting the wrong roses and are now painting them red, she demands that it's off with their heads. I appreciate that they kept the whole off with your head thing that the Queen of Hearts spews about because it's really integral to her silly dictator character. Kitty Alice refuses to allow the Queen to behead her newly found card friends, and they all scatter off, pursued by Jack and his card guards. Alice manages to convince Two Brain Cell Jack that the cards ran in a certain direction when they very much did not. After the cards scamper away, Kitty chooses to return to seemingly just rub it in that Jack is an idiot.
Your Majesty, I believe that we were tricked by the young lady.
I did trick him.
Then a fairly weird argument with the Queen and Alice takes place that somehow manages to conclude with Alice being invited to play some croquet. During the game of twisted croquet that includes a flamingo, a porcupine, and card guards arching their backs on the ground, Alice manages to miss the ball with a swing and it's off with her head. The end. No, just kidding. Well, kinda just kidding. It's obviously not the end, but she is chased down by the card guards to be beheaded. We then jump cut to the court scene where our brainless boy Jack is being held on trial for the theft of the Queen's cherry pie. The Mad Hatter appears as a witness with his goal strictly being to cause chaos, distrust, and confusion. He does just that. The Hatter lies about seeing Jack steal a pie and Kitty quickly intervenes to shut down his witness account. Obviously, the Queen is annoyed by having someone interfere with her guilty sentencing for her stolen pie, so yet again, it's off with her head. Alice Kitty begins to object and starts to grow in height while doing so. The rabbit actually has a really funny line here.
You're not allowed to be taller than the courtroom. You will have to leave the premises.
I like that they have a pre-written rule that you can't be taller than the courtroom. Maybe they had a previous instance with another kaiju cat. Kitty Alice keeps growing and growing until the entire courtroom erupts and she's back into that endless falling state that she previously encountered when entering the rabbit hole. Suddenly, poof! In an instant, Alice is being woken up by her sister as they both still lie under the tree where the story had begun. After her sister calms her down, they both leave, and where Alice Kitty stands lies the gloves and fan. The end. There we have it, a cute little animation of Sanrio's take on Alice in Wonderland using the iconic Kitty herself. This animation was obviously meant for kids and is intended to be lighthearted, innocent fun, so don't expect exciting action or some hidden gem. I thought it was just a sweet little adorable and very faithful take on the original Alice in Wonderland. It also really scratches that nostalgia itch if you ever grew up with these old VHS tapes and DVDs of kids shows or movies much like this. Have you guys or gals ever seen any of these classic Sanrio animations? If so, let me know which one and what you thought of it. I read every comment and respond to most, and I would definitely love to cover more of these if any are interesting enough. Thanks for watching the video, and hey, if you enjoyed it, a like and subscription help out a ton. Plus, they're free. So long.